No? All right. I hope you're feeling well today and taking care of yourself. We're really, really happy to have with us Max Bolka, our good friend and good friend of Unity, good friend of ours personally, and we've known each other for years and years. Max is a financial consultant and advisor, and he helps people to get their affairs in order, and that's a good thing, right? So, so anyway, maybe you can help us out here today. So anyhow, Max recently moved to Canada, and he's been living there, and we're just so happy that he is here with us today, all the way from, what is the name of that place? Victoria, British Canada. Beautiful. He sends me pictures and is like, it's gorgeous. So Max, I know you've got something to tell us today. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So,
you ready?
Yeah, we're ready for you.
On? Good morning. Good morning. How many of you that have or have not heard me speak before? Raise your hand. Have or have not? Keep them up. Keep them up. Almost everybody. This is a smart group. This is a group I want.
Is your pack on?
I don't think your pack is on.
We don't need it. I think it's on.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I have a very big mouth. Still can't hear me? Is that okay? Can you hear me in the back? Raise your hand if you can't hear me. How many people are confused? Raise your hand. How many people aren't even sure? Raise your hand. We're going to talk about love and life and death and grieving and living. How's that? So let's start with the easy questions. For $100, who can he said I was a financial advisor. It's really not true. I'm a business consultant, but it's close enough. I'll take your money if you want. For $100, who can tell me what's the purpose of life?
Love. To expand our consciousness. Be enjoy.
What is your name, dear?
Lauren.
Lauren? Could you all hear what she said? To expand our consciousness. That's $100. That's the answer. To enjoy bliss consciousness, expand our consciousness, evolve to the state of eternal liberation. But I have another $100 that everybody who said love can get a piece of that $100 right there. I think you said love, and you said love, and you just split that among everybody else. If I were a financial consultant, that would be your first lesson right there. So, let's talk about love. You've heard it said that there's only two emotions, love and fear. I'm going to challenge just about everything you think. And you tell me when I'm out of time, because I'll just keep going until... I'm going to start telling really bad jokes, and I'm not going to stop until the offering plate is full. How's that? Everybody, we can agree that there's love and anger, right? I would challenge you to think there's no such thing as anger. It's just a lack of love.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have people sitting over here, and this is a spectrum. And over on this side is all unconditional, every infinite, right? Love. I'll get to you people in a second. Just sit tight. Okay? Now, if we take just one step this way, right, then what we see is something less than infinite love, unconditional love, etc. Just something less. And then it manifests, a little personal sickness, or we were talking about, some of them are really suffering. There's some stuff going on in the world and personally. And then all the way down, less love, till we get all the way down here where you lucky people... Here, will this make you feel better? I'm almost out of money already. It's like see Lauren, she's got all the money down there. And this is where we see global catastrophes and war and poverty and everything else. But it's really not the opposite of love, it's a lack of love. And we're doing a real review here. I've known James and Leah, and I'm so sorry, I didn't even thank you guys. I think it's been 20 years from my calculations, 2004. And so thank you for having me and being such great friends all these years. So if we're talking about lack of love, then what's the answer to any problem we have? What's the one question you need to ask yourself anytime you're faced with a problem?
What would love do?
What would love do? Who said that? Sally. Great. What would love do? How can I bring more love to this situation? You are so lucky, Sally, because I just found another $100 up here. Yeah, you got the whole thing right. How can I bring more love to this situation? It's a simple question, but not always an easy one, right? When somebody's really doing this, or you're faced with a really big challenge. But I'm here just, our time is limited together here, so I just want to impress upon you to ask yourself that question. How can I bring more love to this situation? Okay? So let's talk about death. We covered life and love, and we're only 10 minutes into this. I suspect that the purpose of death is to show us there's no such thing as death. I suspect. I can't be sure. I can try to come back and tell you. Right? Lauren, give me that $100 back. I suspect, because I haven't been there yet, that the purpose of death is to prove to us that there's no such thing as death. We may drop the body. There have been people who have self-purportedly been somewhere, near-death experiences, and come back and describe, and such disparate circumstances in time and space, and they're all saying the same thing. So there's something somewhere happening, right? I suspect we don't die in the largest sense of the word, I suspect. But I also am pretty sure you're not going to have a body, and you're not even going to have a mind. It's very comforting to think, I'll just be disembodied and running around out there. No, you don't have a discerning mind. So the best I can say is, like, it's an energy, or it's an essence, or something, but it's not Max Bolka. It's not Sally running around disembodied somewhere. So, how many of you plan on living forever? Raise your hand. Oh, that's good. Keeping this body? I hope not. I hope I get an upgrade at some point. How many of you are getting younger? How many plan on living forever and working till the day you die? Yeah, all the business people in here. Right? They don't want to retire because we're so identified with the job, with the business, with the work. And as a consultant and a business consultant, I can tell you the men, they're just like, I'm not going to retire. I'm in pretty good health. And what are you going to do with your business if something happens? My wife's going to take it over. Rena's going to take it over. I'm like, yeah, have you talked to her about it? She's been waiting for you for 20 years to get the hell out of there so you guys could do some nice things. And you may do the books now, and your kid may sell a few things here and there. But it ain't going to happen. It's all in that business owner's person. So we're so tied up with our identities. And you're going to have to let go of everything. And, we let the kids go, and I'm looking at the age group here, right? So life gets pretty different the day you realize you're not going to live forever. And you have to ask yourself, what do I want to do between now and whenever? And we don't know when that whenever is. I bless you with a long, healthy life. I'm not hoping anybody goes soon. But the truth is we don't know, right? So what are you going to do? You get on your deathbed. I guess I am going to talk about this.
Okay.
James says, what do you want to talk about? I said, I'm not going to go there. Well, I guess we're going there. Okay? Everybody okay? All right. You're going to get on your deathbed, and how are you going to feel? And it doesn't matter. Some speakers will say, pretend, I don't know, you have 24 hours to live. Or you have a year. I don't care. 24 hours, 24 years, I don't know. Imagine you're on your deathbed. What's it feel like? What's it feel like? What are you going to say? Oh, just give me one more year. Just give me another week. I just wasn't prepared. And God or the devil or whoever says, another week? I gave you 52 of them this past year alone. What'd you do with them? What'd you do with them? How well did you live? How much did you love? How much did you learn how to let go? Because you ain't taking it with you. And all of a sudden, if you can really ponder that, it lightens the burden. It's not a heavy burden. You become carefree. Cheryl, you sitting there, you're looking at me, and you think, this guy's an idiot. That's not my problem. No, I don't say you're saying that. I'm just using that as an example. You know, if anybody here is sitting there, I'm an idiot, that's okay. I can live with that. This could be your problem. Don't let it bother you too much. The service will be over soon. You'll be okay. But this is what we do. This is what we do. We spend our whole lives, most of you know, we've tried to manipulate the world and everyone and everything in it to our liking. How's that working for you? It's exhausting, isn't it? It's exhausting. We at Unity, at the end, how many of you know the love of God surrounds us, the light of God unfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us, and wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Except if I don't get what I want, how I want, when I want, then all bets are off. And I'm going to hold my breath till I turn blue. That's called tantrum yoga. Okay? Relax. Okay? So, most of us, you know, we plan for 9 months to have a baby, right? How much time do you plan on leaving this earth? We don't want to think about it, do we? I'm begging you to think about it. Grieving, not just in this country, it's in Canada, it's a worldwide, it's a human phenomenon. We don't want to think about death or grieving or dying. We're going to live forever. We're in total denial. And that's going to cause a lot of problems when something happens and you get sick or you instantly get hit by a car. If you instantly get hit by a car and you're gone, he's got a problem because you guys didn't talk. You see? So it's not just I'm okay not talking about it. There's a lot of people around you who are not going to be okay. We don't know what you want. We're grieving. We're this, we're that. And nobody prepared for anything. Why? Because we're afraid of death. Because society doesn't want to talk about it. There are groups of people, I don't know if you have them down here, called death cafes. You ever hear of a death cafe? Yeah, it's a cutie name, but it's people get together and talk about death. And some people may have lost some people, but it's just people who are interested in talking about this very substantial, significant topic. And it's not a morbid thing at all. Maybe some people have cancer or had cancer, right? It's cured or in remission for 20 years. But they come and they talk. And by talking about it, you get comfortable. What would you like to see happen if you get something? Right? What are your wishes? The 5 wishes? Anybody ever hear of that? Right? So it kind of complements or supplements anything in the hospital and the medical. The medical profession does not do this. They will give you drugs and they will try to make you comfortable with the drugs. That's it. They can't cure it and they're not interested in you as a person. They'll make you comfortable, but they're not going to talk to you about your kid. What's your kid going to do? What's your spouse going to do? How do you feel? How do they feel? No. So you'll get thrown into this world that you know nothing about. And that's what the problem is. But there are groups and there are systems and there are the 5 wishes, forms. Different states have different things. There's various legalities. But if you don't have one of those, there's nothing for your medical people to look at and say, no, we don't want to resuscitate, or we don't want to do food and water, keep them alive, half conscious and drugged out for 3 years or whatever, right? So, just the opposite, you will meet very, very substantial people, very, very much people of significance who are interested in discussing this. You can make some great lifelong friends for the rest of your life. It's not necessarily a sad thing. It's something to celebrate to get together. And you'll make some good friends. So it's not that you can't act silly. It's not that you can't, but you'll do all those things with a deeper appreciation for life and people and your loved ones around you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay? So I think that's all I'll say on that. Where are we? I have no notes. I was telling James, I gave speeches since I got here from Canada a couple days ago. I've been giving talks in business and stuff, and I didn't get a chance to write notes, so I got up very early this morning. I'm meditating. I wrote down all these brilliant things, and I looked at them about an hour ago. I said, can you read this? I can't read this. I have no idea. So we covered life. We covered love. I promise you, if you do those things like look into death and dying, that you'll have a greater appreciation and you'll be able to love more. You'll be able to appreciate more the people and the things around you. The trees down here, I drove down this morning from Asheville. The trees here are a little behind, but very soon the trees are going to show us here in Greenville how beautiful the process is of letting go. It's okay. They'll come back in a different form. If you resist it, are those leaves still going to stay on the tree and not turn? No, that's life. The other day there was a dog chasing a chipmunk and the person was getting crazy. I said, that's what dogs and chipmunks do. I laugh when I see people with dogs. The dog is bigger than they are. It's like, who's walking who? And the dog starts to bark. No, Fido, no. I'm like, it's a dog. That's what dogs do. You want it to cluck like a chicken? What? Even our kids, what beautiful kids were here. That's our future, right? That's your future, the church. And there was not only numbers, but there was some pretty bright faces, so you guys are doing great. And I'm thinking, we teach kids for the first 2 years of their life, we teach them how to walk and talk, right? And then starting from then for the rest of their lives, go ahead, Rich, what? Sit down and shut up. I'm only doing this because I think this is the last one, but I owe you the other 50. Okay? So, where were we? What was the question? We know the answer. Love is the answer. Okay? What else? I could keep talking. Can we take questions? Otherwise, I just keep talking.
Keep talking.
Yes, ma'am.
It's really very simple. I'm probably in the minority, but I think about death a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Getting older, and I'm not afraid of it, and I expect every night before I go to sleep there's a chance I won't get up. And the more I think about that, the more I feel like I gotta live every day.
Yeah.
As much as
And her question to the folks online is, she was asking about, what happens when you're afraid of death? Max.
She's not, this lady is not afraid of death, and so she appreciates every morning when she gets up more and more. And may I ask you how you do that? What does that appreciation look like?
I think, well, I'm Jewish, but I'm a Messianic Jew, and I pray a lot. I'm very close to God, and I just feel like when it's His time, so I just wait on Him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but living with the new appreciation, how does that manifest in your life? How do you...
Well, I've had
Yeah.
a lot, and right now I'm not feeling that great, and I'm okay with it.
Okay. So you're living
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna get checked out, but
great life, and you're very appreciative of what you've had. Okay, there, I don't know if you heard, but there's going to be a free hug line afterwards right outside. And we're going to get you going for the rest of at least today. Right? Good. Yeah. Who else? What questions? Oh, and you're Jewish. You know this is the Unity Church. Okay, you're good. I just want to make sure you knew it's okay with me. But I just want to make sure if you knew where you were. Yeah.
please pray for Israel.
Pray for Israel. Sweetheart, I'm praying for the whole world. The whole world is going through a bunch of weird shit right now. Right? Can I say that word here? Can I?
Did you say shift? Hey, Max.
Yeah.
The thing about people asking things is people online cannot hear what they're saying unless we have a microphone.
Ah, I said shit. No, I didn't know if I could say the word weird here at Unity Church,
No.
but I think it's okay. Life is not guaranteed. Nothing is the way we think it is. This is another thing I wanted to get across. I'm glad we could stall enough so I could think of something. Nothing is the way we think it is. The older I get, the more I realize that. Everything is relative. Everything is relative. A guy dies and Satan comes. They get in the elevator. They go down. They open up the door and there's fire and brimstone and people in agony, anguish, agony. And way over in the back corner, there's a little old man and he's sitting on a chair. There's this beautiful young lady sitting on his lap, and she's stroking his hair, and she's caressing his cheeks, and she's kissing him all over. And the guy looks at Satan, and he says, you know, what's up with that? He says, that looks pretty good. He says, I think I could do that forever. That doesn't look like hell to me. And Satan says, it is for her. Everything is relative. It's not what you think. Yeah.
I got a question. How do we trick our ego into giving up control?
Well, that's a great question, Sally.
Repeat, please.
How do we trick our ego into giving up control? So let's start at the top. The mind is running its game. How many people have had the experience where your mind just won't shut off? More people than either have or have not heard me speak today. That's how many people. Why is that? Because the ego is running the mind, right? When we say ego, we don't necessarily mean arrogant behavior. We mean the small self as opposed to the big spiritual self, right? Why is the ego running the mind? This is a two-way conversation right now. And just give me like a 10-minute warning.
Okay.
And we'll go into meditation. Yeah, so why is the ego running the mind?
Survival.
Who said that? I'm out of it. Can we take a check? Will you take a credit card? Yes. Survival. And any want to expand on that? What are we talking about? Control. Who said that? Yeah, beautiful.
Because it wants to be the master, not the servant.
It wants to be the master.
That master.
That's worth that accent alone is worth another $100. I'll pay it if I could do that accent. Yes, it wants to be the master, not the servant. And the mind is a great servant and a terrible master. So the mind is great for discriminating when there's a tiger coming at you. Good to know the difference between a tiger and a big dog, right? Safety, yes, you got it. This is all on the same track. Safety, control, being a master, absence of fear. Yeah. So what? But the mind does not feel the fear. The mind is taking the instructions from the ego, and I'm going to say the heart, because this is another one of these things where I think People, oh, just live by your heart. Feel your heart. You're a guy, get in touch with your heart. Yeah, but that's where the fear is. The heart is afraid of being crushed. The heart is afraid of not surviving. So it tells the mind, go fix this. Just do this and we'll be okay. Just fill in the blank. Find a mate. Make a little more money. Move to a different country. Whatever. Just fill in the blank. And then I can be safe, and then your mind can relax. How's that working for you after all these years? So my point is, the mind will never have all the solutions to all the problems. That's why it doesn't shut up. It's impossible. Trust me on that one. I'll be very honest with you. So you see all these, those are worry lines. Those are worry lines. Worry will kill you. Hard work will not kill you. Worry will. You're trying to find answers that you can't find with the mind. And the heart is afraid to be hurt. So what do we do? What do we do? You have to wake up every day, like this young lady, and say, I appreciate every minute. There's a lot, I don't know the exact number, we'll call it 1 million people a day, 250,000 people a day. They don't wake up. The only question is, who takes it for granted and who doesn't? Who's going to go out and who said put a smile on your face? And James said, or you said, put a smile on your face and bake someone happy. Remember that? Bake someone happy. Because today is all you have. I'm not saying you can't plan for tomorrow and plan your death, plan your business, plan your marriage, plan what kind of relationships you want. You have a health plan, right? You have a financial plan, right? Or a budget. You have a meal plan, right? But you don't have a plan for living, and you don't have a plan for dying. You don't have a plan for loving the important things. We have plans for all the superficial things because it's all going to go at some point, right? So it's not a sad thing. It's a happy thing. You wake up, and you start living and appreciating every single moment, whether it's the trees or this wonderful church that you guys have all built, right? It doesn't matter. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. You do it with a greater appreciation, with a greater awareness. Most people are sleepwalking through life because they think they're going to live forever. And they don't have that appreciation for what's right in front of them until it leaves, whether it's a relationship, a kid, or a spouse, or a parent. See, the normal order of things is your parents will go before you do. And that's expected. And it's very sad, but it's normal, right? Not your kid to go first, but your parent. But every time you turn around, death is one step closer. And if you plan for it, it can be a very spiritual, beautiful thing of letting go. To wherever that next step is, I'm convinced it's something, I just can't tell you what it is yet. Okay? So I'm trying to come to terms with it and be at peace with it and not worry about what's here today. It's a process for all of us. Okay?
Thank you.
It's not just the mind and then, we'll just focus on the heart. The heart has the same thing. When you can be comfortable, totally comfortable with all the joy that life gives you and all the pain that is going to come. I've heard you say it 1,000,000 times. You quote the Bible, in this life there will be trials and tribulations. But what we do is, no, not me. Not me. I want all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. And so we get crazy. And so the mind, as soon as there's any threat at all to that heart, the mind's going to try to fix it. So now people say, Max, how you doing? I said, great. Everybody's acting the way I want. The whole world is doing what I want. All the people I know are treating me the way I want. I'm doing great. And they laugh. They get it. Or they walk away. Either way, I'm okay with it. Okay? So, anybody else? We got time for one more? Yeah? Anybody else? I got lots of answers. I'm just waiting for the questions. Yes, ma'am.
So how do you deal with the hard stuff?
How do you deal with the hard stuff? Do not resist. It is hard. Try not to label it as good or bad, because that's all up here. And there are many stories of people who lose this and they'll go crazy for about a day, and then, oh, there's twice as much of something else over here. And oh, I'm okay now. Thank you, bye. Yeah, but you reacted, you were like this. You were crazy. Crazy sad and crazy happy. So you can appreciate and love, and whatever, but don't get too crazy when the good stuff happens. And you can be sad. It's normal to be sad. You don't have to fight that. If you lose something, there is a grief. That loss does not have to be a child or a parent or a spouse, right? It could be the loss of a job. That's why those business owners don't want to retire. They don't want to lose their identity as a business. All I know. Or lose it. We moved from here, from Asheville, to Canada to be with my wife's family, the remaining part of our family. It was thinning out, so we moved there. It's a long way away. There's grieving of, I was telling James, we walked in, it's like no time was gone. We just stepped right back into it. It's been 4 years, it's been 4 years, 4.5 years since I got on a plane, since before the pandemic. And what the hell was that all about? I missed the pandemic. It went, I got COVID. It was like a bronchitis thing. It was luckily, it was not more serious. But here I am, it's like a dream. Doesn't everything just seem like a dream right now?
It is a dream.
It is a dream. Don't take it too seriously. Just wake up. We all know there's waking, dreaming, sleeping. What if we have to wake up from waking consciousness? What if there's something else? We'll call it the spiritual ecstasy consciousness. God consciousness, bliss consciousness. What if you hear people talk about it? You read about it in every spiritual tradition. Maybe that's what we should be working on and looking forward to and allowing for. Wake up from waking state of consciousness. Most people are asleep, and they wake up every once in a while just enough to recognize that they were asleep. And then they go back to sleep. We're not getting any younger, right? If you can help me with this, if not you, then who? If not now, then
When?
And if not for love, then why? What are you waiting for? We're not getting any older. We're not getting any younger. So a cabbie picks up a nun. I did tell this to him a long time ago. Not that long ago, but he doesn't remember. So
What you hear today is not necessarily the approved by the management.
cabbie picks up a nun. He's driving, and he's looking, and finally the nun in the back seat says, "What are you staring at?" And he says, "Forgive me, sister." He says, "You're so beautiful." And I've always had a fantasy to kiss a nun. So she says, so the nun says, "Well, if you're single and you're Catholic, I'll do it." So he says, "I am." So he pulls over, and he pulls over in an alley, and they both get out of the car. And the nun, "It's going to be okay. Relax. It's going to be okay. I know what I'm doing here. I'm a professional. Do not try this at home." They get out of the car, and this nun gives this cabbie a kiss that would make anybody blush. They get back in the cab, they driving, and the cabbie starts to cry. And the nun says, "Now what's the matter?" He says, "Oh my God, sister, forgive me." She says, I lied. He says, "I'm married and I'm Jewish." And the nun says, "That's okay. I'm actually Kevin, and I'm on my way to a Halloween party." True story. No. Nothing is the way it seems. Don't take it too seriously. The control issue, its own illusion of control. We really don't have control over anything, not the important things. Not the important things. That's the mind trying to control everything so we can feel at peace. But if you learn to forget all that, just go deeper and be at peace with the so-called good and the so-called bad, right? And if you get this now at a relatively young age, boy, it's going to make all the difference in the world moving forward, because some people don't get it even up onto their deathbed. And then death is confusing. So many times it's confusing for people. They just don't know. Okay? All right, we good? Yeah. So we'll do a prayer. We'll go into meditation. Yes? So I'm going to chant a little, and then we'll do some things together, and Jeff will join us, and then we'll go into meditation. The rain is falling down, like all the souls you send here, coming to this earth to find healing. Mother Earth takes the rain, like your heart takes my voice. Let us free each other with our prayers, with our voice. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. Oh, Nama Gurudev Namo. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Come sing it with me now. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Jeff, come and join, give us. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Gurudev, 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 Guru. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. One more time. Oh, Namo Gurudev Namo. Jeff, you want to bring us into meditation? Jeff, so beautiful. Mother, Father, God, bless this day. It's a beautiful, glorious day that we get to share together in this wonderful Unity Church James and Leah have built over the last 20 years. Thank you for the peace, the love. Grant us the joy, the abundance, the bliss. We are so ready to receive and appreciate. Thank you for all the good that is flowing to us, through us, even as we speak these words. Thank you for beautiful Greenville. Help us to do your work, to see your wisdom, to release those parts of us, the mind, the heart, the ego, that prevent us from getting closer and having that experience. Bless all of those who've come before us to help pave the way so that we can enjoy today. If there's anyone or anything that weighs heavily on your heart and you would like to release that, just gently say their name, either whisper to yourself or out loud. Julia. Bless our community here in Greenville. Bless those souls who've moved on. Grant us the peace and the love. Release them so they can move on to their next journey in God's love. No longer constrained by time or space of this world. And for all these blessings, we gratefully say, Amen. And take a few moments.
And so let's all take a breath together. Breathing in and out and just letting it go, as Max showed us today. Maybe stretch a little bit as you come out of your meditation. We turn the lights back on and get ready for some announcements.